I'm about to enjoy this delicious Miller Lite. Achoo! Oh, God, that was an amazing sneeze. Let's get into it. I'm John Stanton, editor of Gambit, and this is the Get Down. Big ups to Claire, the creepy Banshee Briere, for doing my makeup and making me look like I just impaled myself with a can. It's amazing. We make sure to check out the timeless video of her doing it. It actually was surprisingly easy to watch her do it. You could do it for yourself at home for this Halloween. Speaking of non-Halloween stuff happening in New Orleans, as all of you I'm sure by now are aware, the city is broke, badly broke. In fact, at press time, they were not going to be able to pay people's paychecks through the end of the year. There are a number of reasons why this is happening, but the kind of two biggest ones are that Mayor Cantrell's office basically stopped keeping any kind of real track of overtime costs and failed to really plan for that at all. For this year, for instance, they planned for $45,000 in overtime, and the number is at least $50 million in overtime. Every department in the city has been basically going buck wild on overtime, and that has caused a huge hole. But then there's some other big ones as well. For instance, Sewer and Water Board, which the mayor is also the head of, owes the city $87.6 million. Uber owes the city $35 million in fines. There are $135 million in unpaid parking tickets that are due the city. And then they have no idea how many owed debts to the city, over 500,000 there are, but there are enough that Councilwoman Leslie Harris, in one of the smartest moves of the last week, asked the city to put together a list so that the city council and the public could see exactly who owes the city preposterous sums of money and is not paying. And we will be sure to bring you that entire list as soon as it is available. What this means for you, obviously, is nothing good. The city is trying to get an equivalent of a payday loan to pay folks for their work in the city through the end of the year. That will come with probably a 6% interest rate that we will have to pay back. So we're going to end up losing significant amounts of money on a deal that we really shouldn't be losing any money on at all. Meanwhile, the government continues to be shut down, which is going to mean that starting November 1st, they will not be paying out SNAP benefits. SNAP is, of course, the program that helps low-income folks feed themselves with subsidies. And around here, that's going to affect tens of thousands of people. In Jefferson Parish, some 15% of the entire parish is on SNAP. In Orleans Parish, it's equivalent, about 20%, I think. In St. Bernard Parish, a full quarter of the entire parish is on SNAP. And then in St. Tammany Parish, I think it's about 17%. All of those people are going to lose their benefits and be unable to get the food that they need to get. Now, frankly, the SNAP benefits are already woefully inadequate, and the state does everything it can to keep from helping poor people to begin with. The irony, of course, behind all of this, though, is that there is a person who we all know, maybe not so much love, who lives here in our area, in the New Orleans area, who has a direct role in the government shutdown, and that would be Steve Scalise. He is the majority leader of the United States House of Representatives, and he, along with Mike Johnson, who is the Speaker of the House and is from the Shreveport area, and Donald Trump, have basically kept the government shut down for more than a month because Republicans are unable to come to some kind of an agreement to get it reopened. Part of that is definitely connected to the Epstein files in terms of the House not voting on stuff, but even then, they still weren't going to be able to come to a deal, probably. So basically, yeah, we're getting screwed really bad because Republicans can't figure out how they want to screw us generally. So we're all taking it really hard on the chin. And this comes at a time when there's already thousands of federal employees that have been laid off or furloughed or not being paid. Some folks like TSA, of course, are being forced to work even though they're not getting paid, which has already caused a significant strain on the food banks in the area, and the end of SNAP benefits will probably push some of those into crisis mode, I would imagine. So that's something definitely to keep an eye on for the next week or so, and please do whatever you can to help your neighbors. because these are very difficult times, and it's just going to get worse for the foreseeable future. So yeah, I'll be right back.
Hey, you guys, I'm Maddie.
I'm Lionel.
We're going to talk about some Halloween events going on in the city, and in honor of Halloween this week. We're dressed kind of festive, unintentionally, but I'm going to say this is like a spider web. Lionel's just...
These are just Halloween colors.
Halloween himself.
These are scary Hawaiian flowers.
Yeah. So this weekend, we've got some cool stuff coming up. Anna's has that Black Lagoon pop-up, that they've been doing like the whole month. But
yeah, we were talking about that before we started filming.
Yeah, it's really cool. They like deck out the whole upstairs with like spider webs, and they have spooky like moldy cocktails that I don't know what they're dropping in there, but it looks like an amoeba, like what do you call it?
Bacteria?
No, like the
Bacillus?
Lord guys.
I don't know. I'm just pulling from 7th grade science right now.
Like a petri dish. Yeah, they make like these petri dish cocktails, and I actually don't know what their cocktail menu looks like this year, but last year I had so much fun.
Anna's is a cool spot. They always have cool stuff going on. Like definitely check that out when what is that, a couple weeks or?
It's this Friday they have Female Trouble DJing, but throughout the week I know there's a couple other DJs, I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but they're pretty much doing stuff every night. So you should just go check it out. There's also Pleasure Savior. If you guys don't know who she is, she's, kind of this one entity, but she posts all of the, like techno nightlife events going on in the city. She's really cool. But she's got Halloween Ghouls Ball happening. I'm actually going to play it. So
hell yeah, dude. Bring back techno, man.
Bring back techno. I mean, I think she's back. I think she never left, actually, but she's here.
Yeah, I feel what you mean.
Yeah, so that's taking over Oak Street. There's like 3 or 4 venues that she's decking out, and they have like a hidden warehouse where you can go and dip off and watch movies if you're like, overstimulated. But yeah, I will be at the Hummingbird Lounge above 14 Parishes. So yeah. What are you playing anywhere?
I think I'll be in BR at Pelican to Mars, which is a cool little spot in Baton Rouge. Okay. It's just like a quick aside about it. It was for like 5 years they were fighting for the rights to like set up, and then they finally won due to like a municipality logistics dispute. That parish court, they finally got the go ahead. So they've been kind of rocking ever since. If you're familiar with BR, it's in a cool part of town. So yeah, nice and chill. What else is going
on? Let's see. I did write these down, guys. Okay, if you don't like the unts and you want to get in your feelings, Big Thief. I feel like they pick New Orleans every Halloween to come and play, but they're going to be at the Singer, and I love Adrian Linker's solo project as well. So I think that would be a more chill option out of all the debauchery that's going to be going down. Probably.
When's that again?
This is Halloween night.
Halloween night.
Yeah, and I feel like it's been every couple of years. Yeah. They're there. So
I haven't had the chance to see him live.
Yeah, and if you don't want to go to any events, Lionel's also an avid movie watcher.
Dude, real. Tons of things to watch. First thing that we were talking about before filming was, if anyone's familiar with the What We Do with the Shadows TV show. Pretty bopping TV show, but it's actually based on a 2014 movie of the same. Yeah, it's fantastic. 2014, it's Taika Waititi, Jermaine Clement. It's like one of the OG like mockumentary movies, which is a particular favorite genre of mine. So like Best in Show or like Chicken People, A Mighty Rush, just doing that funny documentary style. It's super good. Not a lot of people know that the TV show is based on like that movie.
Mockumentary. And I haven't seen the show. I watched the movie. It's a lot of like queer, relationship allegories going on in there. It's really cool. Very.
It's a bopping movie, dude. I would recommend anyone who likes the TV show or likes the movie, check out Vice. I check out this one, check out that one, because it's so pleasing how much the TV show takes from like the original movie and just like adapts it, sort of modernizes it a little bit. I think it's a blast, dude. Another random movie that I was so jazzed about when it came out was, it technically came out at the end of 2023, but I called it a 2024 movie. It was Late Night with the Devil. It's with David Damasticane, alongside a working cast, and it's so cool, dude. Like, there's been a drought of like found footage horror movies, like 2009's like Paranormal Activity 1 was like kind of cool.
Like the witches. Wait.
Huh?
Blair Witch Project.
Yeah,
like,
Blair Witch. That's the OG from '99, and I mean, like, you can talk about that movie to death. Like, like now it feels a little old, but like you have to appreciate Blair Witch Project for like when it came out in the '90s and it had a crazy unseen like viral marketing campaign. Like, and it was cool. Like, nothing's really replicated the buzz that movie made, but like so too do I feel the same way about Late Night with the Devil. It's like the most interesting found footage horror movie I've ever seen. And I can't spoil like how, because like that would ruin the fun, but its framing narrative is fantastic. It's a little bit of Cronenberg in there. It is such an interesting movie, all things considered. And the best part about it is it's like an hour and 36 minutes.
Okay.
Nice
like
clean runtime.
I feel like that's a good runtime.
And then I guess just like one random quick thing that I rewatched that I really like is Event Horizon from '97. That's also a cool space scary movie to check out.
Okay, sweet. Well, thank you. And thank you guys. I hope you either check out one of these events or movies and have a good weekend. Be safe.
Finally, and another thing. And this week, I think I do want to talk a little bit about the budget problem that we're having right now in the city. You know, the city's budget, it's hard sometimes for us to see what's going on and where that money is going, especially because like our roads are such a mess in the city still, because a lot of the street lights don't work and traffic lights don't work, and it can get difficult to see it. And while a lot of the money that we've been supposed to be getting from the Katrina payments, from Ida payments, from the federal government because of the economic stimulus after COVID, a lot of that money has been going to programs in the city. Some of them are going towards stuff that you may not necessarily yourself utilize, but are definitely going to worthy projects in the city, like helping kids. There have been a lot of infrastructure projects done. Obviously, the big power plant for sewer and water board is a major thing that will help out the city enormously. But you know, when you look at what's going on with how the government has been run the last 8 years, the budget is really a place where you can see just how poorly and how disorganized it's been managed. You know, like not being able to accurately predict the budgets and funding and revenues coming into the city is silly. You know, they're like, oh, well, you know, there was a slowdown in the summer because there was not as many tourists, and there's a slowdown in the fall because people have already paid their taxes. So that's why we're finding ourselves in this crunch right now. Both of which are stupid-ass ideas, because every year the tourism goes down in the summer, and every year people pay their property taxes in the spring, not in the fall. So those are very obvious things. Same with a lot of the overtime. The overtime for Mardi Gras, for major events in the city that they already know are coming, like the Sugar Bowl and things like that. Those are all things that they should have been planning for. They've been doing them for years. They know what they're going to need, you know, years in advance for some of these things. So it's not like these are surprise things. And while we did have some surprises this year, most notably, of course, the terrorist attack and the snowstorm, in the case of the terrorist attack, we should be getting funding back from the government, and that's on the state to go to the feds to go get it, because they're supposed to be giving us funds for that, and the state apparently has not. The other thing is that they made a lot of assumptions about getting their money from the feds that seemed very silly in hindsight. The biggest which of being that assuming that the Trump administration was actually going to pay a majority black city any of the money that it's owed. It shocks me every time they do something that is going to help black people in this country, quite frankly. So the idea that you would plan your budgeting for the year around them making payments that you are supposed to get seems ill-advised at best. And finally, I think that one of my biggest concerns and one of the biggest problems within this administration that this has highlighted is the fact that Romy Samuel, who is the director of finance for the city, basically, she did start talking about this in January and February, but she only did it because the mayor was mad that they were going to give the school board $20 million. And when she did start talking about a financial problem, she refused to tell any details. probably because it was going to expose all of these bad budget practices that they were engaging in. But then in some cases, she actually said, no, don't worry, there's not actually a problem. And that extended well into April, when she and the former CAO, Gilbert Montagna, went to the city council and essentially said that the budget picture was not as bad as they had thought, and that if they could raise some revenue in some spaces, they should be fine. They knew then that it was not true, or then if they didn't, then that's malpractice on their part, because they should have known. And it's all just a big problem of people not doing very common sense, obvious things to take care of the city. And it's one thing if that's what you're doing in your personal life, or, you know, in your own like business or whatever, but like you do that to a whole city, you end up in a space where you're threatening to essentially not pay city workers for the 2 months leading up to Christmas. Like, I can't think of a worse time of year to not pay city workers. They already are underpaid. They're already treated like crap. So to put them in this position is just absolutely unacceptable, and everybody involved in this should be ashamed of themselves. Anyway, on that positive and uplifting note, that'll do it for this week. Be sure to smash the like button like a can in your face on this video and every video that we make. Go to bestofknowners.com and join the crew, the Gambit, to help support our journalism, and make sure to check out all of our stories at there and all of our great social media online. Until next week.